Hey there guys, my name is Tom and this is my review for the brand new film directed by Neil Burgess starring Sheridan and Lily Rose Depp, Voyagers. If you guys haven't been here before, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell so you never miss out on my take on all things movies. So Voyagers is a new sci-fi thriller and you have this group of young adults, we'll say young adults, they're slightly older than teenagers. They've been raised in the confines of this ship since they were babies. They are on a mission to colonize another planet, but the ship won't reach that planet for another like 80 years, and so eventually their grandkids are going to be the one reaching that planet, and they have been drinking this blue liquid that they've been given that's part of their mission, and it basically suppresses all their emotions. And what it's supposed to do is stop them from, they don't want the crew breeding naturally. They don't want that to happen because you'll overpopulate the ship. They want to keep these young adults pretty much dull and boring for the whole mission so that they can just focus on getting there. And then they basically artificially make them have kids. Yeah, it's one of those movies. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you this movie's great. It's not great. I didn't think this movie was awful. Like, having seen the trailers, I went in thinking this movie looks really weird and really kind of boring, and it just looked like a movie where a bunch of teenagers just have a lot of sex on a ship. And that's, you could sum it up like that. There's a lot of just horniness going around this movie. And there really isn't anything to this film either. Like, any potential this movie had to go really in depth with the human psyche and what happens when you're raised on a spaceship and, you know, you're being lied to and forced to drink this drug that suppresses all of your emotions and makes you dull and boring. Like, there's a lot you could do with that, and they didn't do much except for when the kids stop drinking it, they just become assholes. Having said all that, I don't hate the movie. Like, I wasn't sitting there watching it thinking, God, I cannot wait for this to end. The movie is entertaining enough that you can sit through it and get some enjoyment out of it. But to be honest, the movie ended where the movie should have really started, really. That should have been like the second or third act of the movie. But instead, you have a bunch of horny teenagers running around for 70 minutes. Sheridan, God bless him, right? But I don't think he's a strong actor. I know there are a lot of people that really like him, and I think he was good in something like Ready Player One, but I really don't think he's that strong of a lead actor. And in this movie especially, like, when you have a bunch of characters that, you know, you have this premise that they've been given this drug that suppresses their emotions, they're all really boring. And so you don't get an opportunity to see these people as people. And to me, the standout of this movie is Lily Rose Depp. I felt like she was the most interesting character in the film, and I feel like that's one of the drawbacks of this movie. It's one of the major drawbacks, is that you have an entire group of characters that were all raised the same way, that were all raised in the same spot, that have lived in the same ship their entire lives. And so you don't have any characters with different backgrounds, and they come from different places, and they'll have different stories and different experiences that make them, you know, unique, interesting characters that we can get attached to. They're very, very surface level. And that's just inherent in the story and in the plot that they've set up in this film. So it's really hard to connect with any characters. And like I said, most of them are just horny asshole teenagers. So look, I don't think this movie is complete and utter garbage. I don't think it is, you know, one of the worst movies of the last couple of years. It certainly is probably the worst movie I've seen this year. But, you know, it's also not complete and utter trash. Like, I could see why someone else could watch this movie and actually get some enjoyment out of it, because there are things in this movie to like. There are scenes in this movie that are entertaining, for sure. But for the most part, because of the fact that it's very, very difficult to connect with basically anybody in this cast of characters, aside from maybe Lily Rose Depp and Colin Farrell, who wasn't in the movie anywhere near enough. And Colin Farrell's fantastic. He wasn't in this movie anywhere near as much as he probably should have been, because of how good of an actor he is. And he's the only one that really has a backstory. Anyway, guys, I want to know what you think. Have you seen Voyagers yet? If you have, make sure you leave your comment right down there in the comment section below. If you haven't been here before, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell so you never miss out on my take on all things movies. My name is Tom, and I will see you guys next time.